What's going on, boys? This is Captain John with Team Sons of Thunder Fishing. Right now, we're getting our gear prep for some kingfishing coming up in the next couple days. My boy Eddie's in the background right now cooking up some kingfish ceviche from last week's catch. So I'm gonna basically try to put you guys on and show you what we're doing out there on how to catch big kingfish. We're after the big boys. We're not after the little, 10, 12 pounders. We're after the 20 pound plus, 30 pounds, 40 pounds, 50 pounds, whatever we can get our hands on. We're trying to get ready for tournament season, hopefully this winter. And I'm gonna show you what's going on right now. So basically what we're making is these stinger rigs. You got a treble hook on top, and then you got a live bait hook on the bottom. And I like to use this cooler, something like this, because it's gonna basically keep your hooks nice and streamlined, nice and straight, and they don't get tangled up and twisted until you're ready to use them. So what you're gonna need for this is, first off, you're gonna need some O'Shaughnessy treble hook, size 2. Here's a fresh pack. You get these at Academy, maybe $7, 25 of them. You can't beat that deal, that's a great deal. VMC. Also, we used Mustad 3.0 live bait hooks. You can use 2.0 also, those will work, but 3.0 is about perfect size. They're really small as it is. And then you want to get some 75-pound swivels. 70, 75 pounds. The smaller, the better. You want the small swivels, but strong. You don't really need to go over 100 pounds. That's kind of overkill and you're getting too big. You want your presentation to look as natural as possible. So we like to use the 70-pound swivel. Next thing you're gonna need is some AFW, American Fishing Wire, 7-strand wire right here. This is 40-pound we like to use. I got also right here a 30-pound spool, but stick with the 40. This is a 30-foot of wire. This is 300 feet. I would say just go with the 300 feet. You're wasting your money if you're buying 30 feet because you're really paying maybe $5 more for 300 feet and you're getting 10 times as much. So stick with the 40-pound, 7-strand American Fishing Wire wire leader. And then last but not least, you're gonna need some scissors and some pliers. So let's get started. I'm gonna show you how I make this rig. You wanna start off with about maybe 2.5 feet of leader. Just cut that. You want to take your VMC O'Shaughnessy size 2 treble hook, and if you look at the treble hook, where the loop is, there's a flat side right there. That side's flat. You want to lay down the wire through the hook, through the loop, and you want to have it right there, laying flat on that flat side. And then what you want to do is you want to come around and do 8 wraps tight against each other. Coil it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right? You got 8 wraps. Grab that with your finger, lock it down tight, and just take the wire and slide it right through the eye of the hook and pull tight. Pull it tight. Then, just to secure it, take your pliers, grab the tag end, and pull tight on it, like that. And I'm telling you what, this wire is not gonna slip. It's not gonna slip. This thing grips real tight. It ain't going nowhere. So you could leave tag in. If I got a little excess, I'll just cut a little bit off. It's not a big deal if there's a little tag end hanging off. Next step, so I got my 2.5 feet, 7-strand wire leader, 40-pound, to my treble hook. Now I'm gonna take my live bait hook, 3.0, right? You wanna have this hook right here facing, basically the bottom of the hook is gonna be towards this treble hook. So you wanna loop this, same thing. You want this wire to be resting on the bottom of this hook, like that. So that's how it's gonna look when it's rigged. So depending on the size of your bait is how far you wanna space this right here. We're using big blue runners, so maybe we're gonna leave about 8 inches in between. Depending if you're gonna use a smaller bait, maybe you wanna leave 4, 5, 6. So I'm gonna leave it right in between, maybe like 7 inches. Put like 7 inches in between. And what you wanna do is the same thing. You wanna do 8 wraps around here. Keep it real tight on top of the line that's resting at the bottom. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lock that down with your finger, keep it tight. Same thing, right through the bottom of the eye. Pull that through the eye. Grab your pliers. Grab this hook now. Lock it in and pull. So now we got 2 hooks right there. That's your stinger rig. And that's how a stinger rig should be. Got your live bait hook on top and your stinger treble hook at the bottom. Now we gotta attach the swivel. Now real quick, let me give you guys a little tip. The goal out there is to catch big blue runners. What we catch big blue runners is these sabiki rigs. You want a size 14, size 15, a bigger sabiki. Hayabusa is the best brand. That's the best sabiki you're gonna get out there. You know, this is a 4-hook sabiki because it's a bigger sabiki. We're after big baits. You don't need to hook 4 blue runners at once because they're really strong baits. You can use a 6. I got a 6 here. You know, size 12, size 15, 14. 15 is ideal. So when you catch your big blue runners, real quick before I get back into this, if the bait is a smaller bait, because if you want to catch big kingfish, you need big baits. If your bait's a little on the smaller side, what you can do is slide one of these dusters on here. It's basically a sea witch, but it has a lot of flare and it has a lot of like flash. So this is gonna give a bigger presentation to your bait. So what I do is I rig these upside down. I have them flipped over this way, just like you see any other sea witch. So same thing what I just did, except slide this on before you get to your swivel. And what's gonna happen is, I'll show you real quick. When this is swimming through the water, if I have a grunt on there or a smaller bait that's not an ideal big blue runner, this right here is gonna open and give it that flash and give a bigger profile. And some of these grunts we have, they're not too shiny, so it's gonna give it some shine. It's basically, you know, it's gonna make it look like a big blue runner running through the water. So I suggest if you're gonna use smaller baits or you can't get your hands on some big baits or something with not a lot of flash, throw one of those sea witches on. Throw this duster on. It's made by Boone Bait and Tackle Company. Locally here in Orlando, Florida, Winter Park. This guy's great. He ships worldwide, and check it out. Boone Bait and Tackle Dusters. So back to here. We're gonna attach the swivel now. So I get my 70-pound swivel. And this is called a figure 8 knot. What this figure 8 knot is, try to zoom in as close as you can. You're gonna slide it through the eye of the hook, right, like that. So I got my swivel, my wire leader, slide it through the eye of the hook. Hopefully you guys can see this. You wanna take the tag ends, wrap it underneath the wire, like so. So you have a regular loop right there. So I got a loop. Wrap the tag in underneath the wire, pinch it, so I have a regular loop. Go above your main line and then underneath the loop. So it looks like that, like a figure 8. Hopefully you guys could see that. Try it one more time. Let's do it one more time so you guys. Just I want to make sure you guys get this. You want to take your wire leader, slide it through the loop. Take your tag in, go underneath the main line, above, then put it below the loop. So underneath the main line, below the loop. And then what you should be left with is a figure 8, like so. Pull both ends, the tag in and the main line, like that. And it's gonna tighten up real tight. Grab the pliers, grab the tag in, grab your main line, and pull. Just like that. And just to be sure, I grab this little swivel, and I pull that too with the main line attached. And there you go. And I cut this tag end off. You don't want to cut your tag end too short. It's not going to slip, but there's no reason to cut it too short, just in case. So I gave it maybe about a half an inch, maybe a quarter inch, a little extra tag end right there. And that's it. That's a stinger rig. So I don't have a Blue Runner with me right now, but when you are ready to rig this up, I would suggest to maybe put, if you're using braid or whatever line you're using, make sure you have 50-pound mono leader attached to this wire. Maybe a 50-pound mono leader just to have some shock absorption and gives a better presentation. And you want to hook this live bait hook in the front through the nose of your Blue Runner, and then you want to have this treble hook as far back as you could get it without it being too tight. So if you were going to hook your fish, just bring it up slightly, just maybe a half an inch, not even a quarter inch, just to give it a little bit of play so your fish could swim nice. And just slide one of these treble hooks into the side of the fish. You could put it in the middle of the fish, above the fish, below the fish. Just make sure that you have some slack in between the two hooks, and there's one hook slid right inside of that fish, like so. And that's it. Then you're gonna be ready to throw your bait out. If it's not a great bait, if it's not a big bait, like I said, throw one of these Boom bait dusters on. It's basically a skirt, a sea witch, whatever you want to call it. And you'll be rigged and ready. So we're gonna catch you guys out on the water. We'll give you that footage right now, and be safe out there. God bless.
Oh, those are decent size.
All right, boys, so we're out here right now. We got a big bait ball busting right here. And there's Blue Runners everywhere. We already filled up the live well with Blue Runners. So what we're doing is we're dropping down jigs, throwing jigs at them, gotcha plugs, catching them through some NLBN swim baits. And now I got this sabiki rod. I'm getting pretty close to the school. The bait ball is just filled with Blue Runners everywhere. And what they're doing is they're coming to the outskirts of the bait balls also. So right now, I'm just dropping a sabiki down and seeing if I get hit. We were just getting hit plenty of times. So I'm hoping that we can get on some more Blue Runners, but honestly, we got at least 12. It's not a really big live well, and we don't want to overfill it too, because then we don't want the Blue Runners to die. So right now we're basically done. We're just gonna start live baiting these Blue Runners, slow trolling them on those stinger rigs that we showed you, and we'll catch back with you soon.